Yes, my viewers and subscribers, welcome to another episode of Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Guys, the matter regarding SSL and the fraud scheme that was at the entity for well over a decade, according to investigators. I have been wondering, why is it that the heads of SSL have not been brought to justice? One woman, Jean Panton, took the fall. She had an attorney. She confessed to everything that she did. But what about the other people? What about the head of the stream? When we look at the Ponzi scheme that happened in the United States with Bernie Madoff, Bernie Madoff was given over 100 years sentence for what he did to his victims as the head of his organization. But in Jamaica, it's a different story. One woman, Jean Panton, took the fall. And the people who are in charge, they had a lot more power at the entity than she did. Did those people at the head of the entity know what this so-called investment firm was about? Did police talk to them? Were they ever interrogated?
Did you know? Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme. Did you know that one man was able to con tens of billions of dollars from investors? Over the course of multiple decades, Bernie Madoff operated the largest Ponzi scheme in history. A Ponzi scheme is a type of scam that promises significant returns on investments. But in reality, the payouts come from money new contributors have invested. The term is named for Carlo Ponzi, a 20th century Italian immigrant to the United States who made millions of dollars fraudulently promising to double investments to those buying into his plan to sell stamps. Though his scheme lasted only a couple of months, Madoff's Ponzi scheme lasted for decades. Madoff founded Bernard L. Madoff Investment Securities and used his relationships and prestige to get wealthy business people to invest their money with him. He even served as a NASDAQ director for 3 terms. Investigators posited that the scheme originated in the early 1980s and continued into the 21st century. The global economic crisis in 2008 caused investors to try to withdraw billions of dollars. However, Madoff didn't have enough funds available and the scheme collapsed. Estimates of the investors' losses ranged from $50 billion to $65 billion. In 2009, Madoff pleaded guilty to 11 counts of fraud, money laundering, and other crimes. Although he was 71 years old, he was sentenced to 150 years in prison, a symbolic ruling that kept him behind bars until his death on April 14, 2021.
He was not the only one working there, but he was the head of the stream. In Jamaica, it's a different story. They do not go for the head of the stream. They go for a woman who probably came from humble beginnings. You know, she took the fall. And I'm sure that she was not the only one involved in this decade-long fraud Ponzi scheme at SSL. And at this point in time, with the theft of the laptops and everything, what is happening there? I mean, we know that at this point in the investigation, or at this point in time, the investigation sits with the police, the financial investigators. This is out of the hands, basically, of the finance minister. At this point, the only thing that the finance minister needs to do is to make sure that all financial institutions in Jamaica, they are abiding by the rules and the regulations of our financial laws and policies. And I mean, it's not just SSL where we're seeing all these different theft activities and fraudulent activities against customers. I think we need to really take a look at these financial institutions in Jamaica. Make sure that when their customers are robbed, they get reimbursed immediately. And it does not stop there. It shouldn't stop at, oh, we'll reimburse you. There needs to be investigation to see who these culprits are. As for SSL, the last I heard, they were supposed to be paying back money to some customers. It should not stop there. People should be held accountable criminally, just like Jean Panton. So let us not start going after the people at the bottom at these institutions. Take down the head of the institution who had been running this Ponzi scheme for over a decade. Guys, keep it locked here to Jamaica Politics Uncovered. Make sure you're subscribed